Good evening, everyone. Today is Thursday, July 17th, 2025, the time being 7 o'clock p.m. We will call this regularly scheduled council meeting to order. Our invocation today will be led by Greg Gurning with Trinity Apostolic Faith Church. And our pledges, Councilman Salter, will you do our American pledge? Great. Garvey, you got Texas. Please rise.
Let us pray this evening. Father God, we come to you tonight. We thank you for your love and your mercy and your loving kindness towards us, God. We thank you for this body that has been entrusted with your wisdom, God. We ask that you would just come and have your way in this place tonight, Lord, that you would give wisdom in all decisions that are going to be made. Lord, that your leading would be in everything that we say and do, Lord. We give you praise tonight in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
You guys a grammar lesson. There's no comma.
I know. I enjoy saying it loud.
Very good. Okay, first on the agenda, we'll have a proclamation for Alvin Tourism Friendly Community. Who's going to be receiving the proclamation? Oh, there she is. Enhancing community identity and fostering cultural connections among residents and visitors alike. And whereas the city of Alvin, Texas is home to a rich blend of history, charm, and hospitality, featuring unique attractions such as the Alvin Historical Museum, the Slover Rogers Cottage, local festivals, vibrant parks, and a welcoming downtown district. And whereas the city of Alvin actively supports initiatives that promote travel and tourism, including partnerships with local businesses, cultural institutions, and the Alvin Convention and Visitors Bureau, all of which contribute to a thriving and inclusive visitor experience. And whereas Alvin embraces its role as a tourism-friendly community by investing in infrastructure, beautification, recreational opportunities, and year-round events that draw guests from across the region and beyond. And whereas the spirit of Southern hospitality, a strong sense of community, and a commitment to preserving local heritage make Alvin a distinctive and desirable destination. Now, therefore, I, Gabe Adami, as the mayor of the city of Alvin, Texas, and on behalf of the city council, do hereby recognize the city of Alvin as tourism-friendly community and encourage residents, local businesses, and civic organizations to continue promoting Alvin as a welcoming and vibrant place to explore and enjoy.
Just one more. One more.
You can't leave. Okay, next we are going to have our Humane Department come up and give her last annual departmental presentation, Miss Autumn Miller.
Yes. Okay. I hate my microphones. I never know if I'm yelling at you or trying to whisper, and so let me know if I need to adjust my volume. As you can see by the chart provided, our intake numbers for dogs have progressively decreased over the years. The projected number of dog intakes for this year is just 538 versus the 795 in 2021. There are a few contributors to consider, one of which being fewer owned dogs being accepted into our facility. While we still help citizens in need of rehoming their personal pets, we do so on a case-by-case basis, depending on available space, adoptability of the pet, and what vetting has already been provided. We also no longer have a contract with the City of Manville. This has helped decrease the number of dogs coming through the Alvin Animal Adoption Center. A couple other contributors will be discussed shortly. The number of cat intakes remains consistent without too much variation overall. Our projection for 2025 is just 50 fewer cats than in 2021. As with dogs, we accept owned cats on a case-by-case basis. Our adoption numbers remain strong for cats. While the projection for dog adoptions this year appears lower than years past, we typically do more adoptions in the fall and winter months. That number is likely to be slightly higher than the projection, and I really wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being in the 200 range. Many adopters don't want to bring home a new dog just before going on like summer vacation and whatnot, so they'll tend to wait until after summer, into the winter or fall months. Returns to owner. It's clear that more dogs are returned home than cats. Unfortunately, many cats that we receive, they don't have owners, or they have multiple residents feeding them, but no one will take responsibility for them once they have a litter of kittens or become sick or injured. This leads to cats landing in the shelter and not being reclaimed by an owner. Rescues and animal shelters are overflowing. The animal population is out of control, and irresponsible pet owners continue to allow and even facilitate breeding. This, of course, leads to even more animals in need of homes and increases the demand on animal shelters and rescue organizations. All agencies and organizations are bursting at the seams. This has resulted in us having a much more difficult time placing animals in rescue groups. As you can see, the number of dogs we placed in rescue organizations has decreased significantly over the years. This is not at the fault of rescue organizations. This is not at the fault of animal shelters. This is a direct result of irresponsible pet owners being reckless in lax or non-existent breeder, seller, and sterilization laws. However, I'm so proud of the City of Alvin and the support from our council to have passed ordinances to require breeder seller permits and sterilization requirements. This is the way to save the overpopulation crisis, and I truly hope other agencies follow suit. These are the tools to make the community better for the animals and for the people trying to save the animals. These ordinances are fantastic, and they allow us to hold pet owners accountable and tackle the overpopulation crisis. But we need to couple these ordinances with readily available free or low-cost sterilization opportunities. Jenny's Rescue Ranch is a local rescue organization whose mission is to save mama dogs, puppies, and dogs with medical emergencies. Jenny and her team have created a program called Get Stitched. With this program, our community has the opportunity for sterilization, a microchip, and vaccinations for their pets in Brazoria County. This was a free opportunity, but unfortunately, appointments were being wasted by no-shows, and now a $20 deposit is required when making the appointment. I would encourage the city to consider to allow continued use of the old fire station at Hood and House Street. We were able to use this location for two very large Get Stitched events, and it was a great resource. The traffic flowed smoothly, check-in and check-out went smoothly, and the separate rooms allowed for proper spacing for pre-surgery, surgery, and recovery. It would be a great way for the city to support a great resource for our community without breaking the bank. And that's not a proposal, that's just, think about it if it ever comes in front of you as a request. We've had more cruelty cases in the past 2 years than what we've had my entire 10 years at the animal shelter. Our Animal Control Division is committed to fighting for the ethical treatment of animals in our community, so we take these cases seriously. One particular case involved the dog pictured here. He's the one in the center in the back. He was beaten bloody by his owner. I won't share those photos with you, but I am happy to report his abuser has been sentenced to serve 5 years in prison. The dog pictured here is with his new pack, and the other dogs from that home have been rehomed through a rescue organization as well. Another recent case involving 8 emaciated horses was just tried in county court. The owner was sentenced to 4 years in prison, plus he broke parole, so he gets to do the remaining sentence he had left of that. I think that was 15 years. We have 2 other pending cases as we speak. One deals with multiple species, including dogs, a kitten, reptiles, and a goat. The other deals with 2 dogs. We are hopeful these cases make it to court in 2026. We rely heavily on our citizens to report neglect, abuse, and other animal-related concerns. The citizens are our eyes and ears, so we can be the voice and protectors for the animals in our community. Okay, bear with me so I can get through this next part. As I announce my departure from what most would refer to as a job, but I refer to as my purpose. I was welcomed to the City of Alvin team as a records tech for the police department in 2012. I was given the opportunity by Chief Lee to become the shelter manager for the Alvin Animal Adoption Center in 2015. During this time, I have matured and grown as a person. I have learned life lessons, I have found myself, and I've been pushed so far out of my comfort zone many times, like being up here. I've had the opportunity to teach my daughter about responsible pet ownership and responsible citizenship through real life experiences. I have been shown so much support from nearly everyone I've worked with. Chief Lee, Captain Fontenot, Captain Hubbard, Captain Arendel, our city manager, Mr. Rowland, Mayor Horn, Mayor Adami, our various council members throughout the years, our police officers and detectives, our court clerks, have all provided me with a strong support network, allowing me to do my job as the shelter manager in a way that I have felt best for our community. I have been blessed with a fantastic crew at the Alvin Animal Adoption Center. We have worked alongside with each other through tough days, wonderful days, and very trying days. One person I've worked with for the past 10 years is Keith Villalobos. Keith was a kennel tech when I started my career at the shelter in 2015. He was the obvious choice for promotion to Animal Control Officer in 2018. Since then, he has demonstrated a passion for upholding animal-related laws, continuously goes out of his way to help citizens in any feasible way, and steps up to help his coworkers. Keith is proactive, hardworking, dependable, and is an all-around solid human being. We've worked closely on cruelty cases, have seen some of the worst of humanity, have been a part of some amazing adoptions, and have been drugged through public criticism via social media, only to come out on the other side with an even stronger will to make Alvin a safe place for the human and animal community. While I'm sad to leave a place I love so much, I'm happy to hand the reins over to Keith Villalobos. I know without a doubt that he will do great things and will make you as proud as he has made me over the years. And with that, Keith is going to come up and let you know what shelter events to look forward to.
Talk about outside of a comfort zone, what is it?
My daughter.
There is no safe space in Alvin. Good evening, Mayor Adami and members of the City Council. My name is Richard Keith Villalobos. I'm honored to introduce myself as the new shelter manager of Alvin. I'm excited to step into this role and bring a strong commitment to animal welfare, community service, and continuous improvements to our shelter operation set in place by Ms. Autumn Miller. With 10 years in animal welfare, 3 years as a kennel tech, and 7 years as an animal control officer, I've seen firsthand the important role of animal services play in our community. As shelter manager, my priorities will include enhancing the care we provide for the animals, improving adoption outcomes, strengthening community partnerships, and ensuring that our shelter runs efficiently and compassionately. I look forward to working closely with each of you to support the city goals and make a positive impact in the lives of both animals and residents. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, ideas, or would like to tour the shelter. Thank you, Mayor Adami, members of City Council, Chief Lee, for your continued support of our animal services program. And I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to Ms. Autumn Miller for being not only a great mentor and a true friend. You've always led by example, and the standard you set and how you work, how you lead, and how you treat people is something I deeply respect and will try to follow every day. I've learned so much from you. I'm grateful for your support, your guidance, and the way you've always believed in me made a big difference, and I don't take that for granted. Thank you again for everything. I hope to carry forward what you've taught me and make you proud. Our upcoming events with Alvin Animal Adoption Centers, mark your calendars and come join us for some fun. July 30th, puppy cuddles at Furbrooks Farm. Come and enjoy the cutest kind of therapy. We'll bring some of our adoptable puppies to Furbrooks Farm for heartwarming day of snuggles and smiles. Kids and parents can cuddle, play, and meet their potential new best friend. August 5th, Puppy Pals at Alvin Library. Every second Tuesday of the month, our alumni dogs return for this special reading event. Children get a chance to boost their reading confidence and by reading aloud to calm, friendly dogs. Next month featured alumni was Mr. Murphy, owned by Miss Miller here, and my Bailey May. This will be Murphy's last puppy pal as he is retiring and he's moving back to Canada. So, October 25th, Wolfstock at National Oak Park. Our third annual Wolfstock is back and bigger than ever. Bring your furry friends and family for a day full of fun. Here's what you can expect. Dog costume parade, canine demos, dog shows and parade, shopping for pets and people, paw trip photography, food trucks, vendors, and much more. Special musical guest, the Cheney Brothers. I'd like a special thank you to Councilwoman Ashley Davis for leading the charge in helping coordinate this year's Wolfstock. Your support and dedication to our community animals made all the difference. Thank you. And it's all right. And let's make this year's Wolfstock better. Thank y'all so much.
Does anyone have questions for Keith?
Thought I was getting out of here.
I don't have a question, but Autumn, I will say you will be sorely missed. We cannot thank you enough for your years of dedicated service. These four-legged babies don't have a voice, and you and Keith, you guys have been that voice along with your team for a long time. And sir, you have very big shoes to fill. You know that.
Yes,
you
I
know
do
that.
know that,
We
yes.
wish you all the best, Autumn. We hate to see you go, but thank you so much for all you did for us.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, great update. Thank y'all. We've got two public comments. First, we're going to have Suzanne Hanneman. If you would like to come up, please, ma'am. Please state your name, address, and social security number for the record.
Suzanne Hanneman. I'm the city attorney here in Alvin. I wanted to just take this opportunity to formally introduce our new assistant city attorney. If she wants to come up here, come on up. This is Miltrice McMichael. She started with us a week ago, and it already feels like she's been with us the whole time. She has already been to court, already has started filling out documents, already has gotten to see some of the stuff that we deal with every week. So we are excited to have her on board. I think she's going to be a great fit, and I just wanted to formally introduce her to y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You don't have to speak. Okay.
Thank you. Nice to meet everyone.
Thank you.
Very good. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Our next public comment is actually we've got is related to an action item on our agenda. Mr. Curry, you're here. Would you like to speak now, or would you like to speak when it's time for us to discuss the item on the agenda? I'll give you your choice. Okay. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and move to the consent agenda. Anyone like to remove anything from the consent agenda? Councilman Garavay?
No, Mayor.
No, Mayor. No, Mayor. No, Mayor. No, Mayor.
Then we'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda, please.
Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously. Items approved on the consent agenda are the June 5th City Council meeting minutes, workshop minutes. Item B, June 5th City Council meeting minutes. Item C, June 26th Special City Council meeting minutes. Item D, acknowledge receipt of the delinquent tax roll for July 2025. Item E, consider Schneider Investments Group, Inc.'s request to cancel the Chapter 380 agreement between Schneider Investments Group and the City of Alvin. Item F, Resolution 25 or R20, authorizing a change request to the engineering budget for the Community Development Block Grant Mitigation Program, grant number 24065-151F10, administered by the Texas General Land Office for drainage and street improvements to Durant Street and the M1 crossing, approving the submission of change request number 1 and providing for other matters related thereto. Item G, a master services agreement with P3 Works LLC for the Public Improvement District PID and/or tax increment reinvestment zone creation and administration services, and authorize the city manager to execute the agreement upon legal review. Item H, consider awarding a bid B2509 to PVS DX Inc. as the vendor for chlorine for 1 year, with the option to continue for an additional 1 year at the same price and conditions, and authorize the city manager to sign the associated agreement upon legal review. Item J, a final plat of Preservation Creek Phase 2, Section 3, being a planned unit development of 3.14 acres. Item J, acknowledge receipt of the quarterly investment report as of June 30th, 2025. Mayor?
Thank you, Dixie. Moving on to other business, item A, discuss and consider a business incentive request from Joe's Barbecue in the amount of $67,595. Hello, Mr. Chavez.
Hello, Mayor. Council members, before you tonight, we have an agenda item that's a request for your approval. The Economic Development Advisory Committee has received an incentive request from Joe's Barbecue, located on Highway 6, for a lot of the exterior renovations to the building. The building is quite old, but still a good one. There was a lot of aesthetic improvements as well as structural improvements that needed to be done to kind of bring it back up to a kind of a fresh look. Mr. Saldano and his business partner are here to answer any questions, but they had made their presentation to EDAC and they reviewed what they were going to be doing, and EDAC approved unanimously. So this was back in, I think it was May when this was originally done. We've had a couple of council meetings that were delayed until today, so that's why it's taken so long to get before you tonight. But EDAC's recommendation, as well as my own, is to vote for approval. I'm here to answer any questions, as well as the Sedano here is to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Chavez or Mr. Saladino?
I did say Saldino.
Run the tape back. I don't think Move to approve, Mayor, move to approve a business incentive request for Joe's Barbecue in the amount of $67,595.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Very good.
Thank you. On behalf of myself and Mr. Saldino Jr.
Sit down, please. Sit down, you know. Joey, we appreciate y'all and everything that y'all have done for the community. Joe's has been a staple in this community. You guys give back time and time again to so many different schools and organizations. You guys are a true community partner, and we appreciate that. Thanks for sticking around, and I'm glad that council was able to help you with this. You're welcome to say anything if you'd like.
We appreciate everything that y'all do for us, and we're just looking forward to staying around for a little while longer.
Another
and
50
just,
years?
Not gonna go do anything else, so.
Sounds good.
So look forward to serving Alvin and community and helping any way we can.
Thank you, Joey.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Next, we have a presentation by Crow LLP for the city's annual comprehensive financial report as of September 30th, 2024, and acknowledge receipt of our fiscal year 2024 ACFR. Hi there.
Hi, good evening. My name is Stephanie Harris. I'm a partner with Crow LLP. Very pleased to be here this evening to give you the highlights of the 2024 fiscal year audit. Page 8 includes our report to council. Again, this year, very pleased to say that we are issuing a clean, unmodified opinion on the city's financial statements. That being the highest level of assurance we can provide as your independent auditor, that the financial statements were materially correct and that all disclosures were included. With that, I'll turn your attention to page 20 and 21, which is a statement of net position for this city. This is full accrual. It's as of close of business, September 30th, 2024. You ended the year with just over $287 million in total assets. Of that, approximately $147.5 million represents the city's investment in long-term capital assets. You ended the year with just over $147,000 in liabilities. This does include a slight increase over the prior year as a result of the issuance of revenue bonds in December. You ended the year with an overall positive net position of $145 million, almost evenly split between governmental and business type activities. On page 22 is a sideways presentation of a traditional income statement, also full accrual. The city incurred total expenses for the 2024 fiscal year of approximately $50.7 million to provide all municipal services. You then collected approximately $25.4 million in direct charges for services. This would include those for water and sewer, sanitation, EMS, as well as municipal court permits. The city also recognized operating grants and contributions of $1.5 million. A lot of that resulted from eligible use of the COVID funds. You had capital grants and contributions of $8.6 million. That left you with a net expense for the year of approximately $15 million. Then, taking into account your general revenues, which can be used to finance any of your municipal functions, of $34 million, you saw overall a positive increase in your ending net position for both governmental and business type activities of approximately $19 million. In terms of just the fund level activity for the year, page 26 and 27 represent an income statement for the city's governmental funds, which does include general debt service, as well as some bond capital projects and sales tax capital projects. For the year, the city recognized revenue on a modified accrual basis of approximately $35.1 million. You incurred expenditures, which does include capital outlay and principal and interest on debt, of just over $39.4 million. After some other financing sources and uses, which primarily included interfund transfers, you saw a net reduction for the year in fund balance of approximately $2.9 million. A lot of that was the spend down of bond funds within the capital projects fund. The general fund saw an overall modest decrease of $138,000. You ended the year with just over $13.7 million in fund balance. Again, third parties and other creditors will generally look at the health of your general fund to evaluate your financial performance for the city. You generally want to see approximately 25% or 90 days worth of unassigned fund balance. Unassigned meaning it hasn't been appropriated yet for the next fiscal year and beyond. Your unassigned fund balance at the end of 2024 was approximately 36%. Your total fund balance was approximately 50% or 6 months worth of operating expenses. We also issued a single audit for the fiscal year as a result of the city incurring, again, eligible cost within the COVID grant program. As a part of testing that particular program, very pleased to say that we are also issuing a clean, unmodified opinion on the city's compliance with its federal grant programs. With that, I'd be happy to take any questions that you may have.
No questions?
Just like to take a minute to recognize staff. They do an incredible job. It was also a very difficult year from an audit perspective as VHP was merged into Crow. There were a lot of new things for the city in order to accommodate that transition, and we just appreciate your patience. Thank you.
Back there. Very good. Well, we thank you very much. And be remiss if we didn't mention Chris and all his staff.
Yes.
And kudos very much for another clean bill of health. Thank you guys for all that you do. And I know Mr. Rowland, your leadership, plays a big part of that too. So thank you all very much for the collaborative effort.
Thank you. We
Thank you, sir.
appreciate the opportunity to serve.
Absolutely. Thank you. Entertain a motion.
Mayor, move to acknowledge receipt of the fiscal year 2024 annual comprehensive financial report.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item C, we will consider a variance request from the prospective developer of the property located on FM 1462 from Chapter 34 Public Storage Facilities, Mini Warehouses, Section 34-2A, lot requirements.
Mayor, if I will, if you will, Councilmember Moore has filed an affidavit, a conflict of interest affidavit, so he will not be partaking in this discussion. Just FYI.
Please exit the dais, sir. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor and
Hello,
Council.
hello.
What you have before you is a variance request from the prospective developer of the property on FM 1462. It is across from the Mustang Crossing subdivision. It is a variance to develop a currently vacant 16-acre tract into a boat and RV storage facility. The ordinance limits the development of new storage facilities to a maximum of 10 acres, and this is 16 acres that they're asking to develop. The City Planning Commission approved the variance request unanimously at their meeting on June 17th, and the potential developer, Brad Dore is here. If you have any questions for him or me, anything.
Very good. Are there any questions?
So this is going to be a full 16-acre development of all, the whole 16 acres is going to be developed. And then
Yes, sir.
I'm assuming there's probably going to be detention associated with it and
Yes,
everything.
sir.
Any special design considerations or anything? It's just going to be a whole bunch of metal buildings out there.
We're in the planning process right now. Planning.
They have to get past the acreage
Got it.
before they, yeah.
Martin, I don't have a dog in this fight, but I do know these guys, and I can tell you that these guys don't halfway anything. Everything they do is top notch. So I wouldn't be concerned of any,
Thank
cheap looking structures or anything of that nature.
And in the pre-development meeting we had, they let us know it would be, fully enclosed, correct? Yes. So it's not open.
I'm good with that. I've seen some good products out there, and I've seen some other stuff out there, and then where we live at and where we're at, you should be meeting that 160 mile an hour wind. And we have engineers that come in and present things and put things in place, and then we get a small little 25 mile an hour wind gust, and we're losing a roof. I just want to make sure that we're not in that situation, but still, we don't have zoning and we don't have anything, and I don't have an issue. So, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Martin. Any other questions, comments?
Move to approve the variance request from the prospective developer of property on FM 1462, BCAD parcel ID 175199 to Chapter 34, Public Storage Facilities / Mini Warehouses, Section 34-2A, lot requirements.
Second.
Was that Ashley? Thank you. All right, please vote.
Motion passes with Councilmember Moore abstaining.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon. All right, item D, we are going to consider a variance request to Chapter 30.5, Regulation of Sex Offender Residency of the City of Alvin Code of Ordinances from Roy Lee Curry for the residence located at 700 Imperial Loop here in Alvin, Texas. Mr. Curry, if you'd like to come forward now.
Yes.
Good evening. Good evening. Go ahead and speak.
Oh, well, I'm asking for a variance request of the city. I moved from Houston, Texas. Me and my wife, we have a veteran house that has wider doors, no thresholds, no high steps, wider shower doors, wider front doors. And we closed on the house in the Imperial Loop, Imperial Forest subdivision. I think the address is 700 Imperial Loop. And we are asking for permission to live there, and the house is made, especially for a person that has disability.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Okay, very good. Thank you for speaking. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Yes, sir. So we have this up. Officer Shoemake, I know you're here. Anything that you need to add? Anything you need to say? Or I'm sorry, Sergeant.
You're okay.
It's the last time you said the Texas Pledge. It's okay.
I'm Sergeant Jason Shoemake, the Alvin Police Department. I'm in charge of the sex offender registration. I was contacted by Mr. Curry about moving into the residence. I explained to him that it's inside an exclusion zone in the city, per the ordinance. He explained the program to me that he was with, that they were already scheduled to close on the house. So that our next step was to bring this before the panel here to have the hearing. That's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay, thank you.
All
Thank you.
right,
Sergeant, quick, how much is he inside that inclusion area?
That entire neighborhood is inside the zone.
Okay.
And his house
So how
is-
far is he from the nearest
His house is
point of interest?
Very close to the park that's inside the zone.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Feet-wise, I don't know, but
Is it just one point of entry, or is the school included as well?
no, there are 2 points of entrances and exits into that neighborhood. The main entrance is where the park is, and then his house is behind the park.
And what makes it a park? Part of the ordinance is just specifically just the park.
The park
There's
and-
not
the
any.
park and the neighborhood.
And the neighborhood.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. There is a entire, I guess, walking trail that is attached to the park around the entire neighborhood.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The offense date is, was 2016. His conviction date was last year, 2023.
June 3rd, 2024.
24, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
24.
We're in 25 now.
24. Time flies.
Okay.
Is it a 10-year, 20-year lifetime, which,
He is a lifetime registrant, required to register annually on his birthday.
So the offense date was in 2016, or was that when it came out?
The offense date is 2016.
And when was it filed? Immediately, or?
2021. Yes.
Well, Mayor, I know, first of all, Mr. Lee, thank you for your service. Nothing that you've done and after that takes away from your service, and I thank you, sir. I know we've had one of this come up about a year or two ago. And at the end of the day, it's in there for a reason. And if we let one, we start letting others. And I'm not okay with holding that on my conscience if we approve this and something happens. Mr. Lee, Mrs. Lee, I want to say I apologize because I understand you've closed on your house, you went through the process, and I understand it's a residence built for your disabilities. I understand that. But as a sex offender, I'm pretty sure you were told that there are laws out here like this. And I think you should have did your due diligence to make sure it wasn't inside an inclusion area wherever you were planning to live. So,
I will entertain a motion to approve or deny the variance.
Mayor, I move to deny a variance request to Chapter 30.5 Regulation of Sex Offender Residency of the City of Alvin Code of Ordinances from Roy Lee Curry for the residence located at 700 Imperial Loop, Alvin, Texas.
second.
Please vote.
Motion passes with Councilmember Vaughn voting no.
He had to switch it up. He
What happened?
So the variance is denied.
So,
Yes.
sorry, yes, motion is denied. Did you mean to vote no?
No.
You meant to vote no to approve.
I meant, yeah, just,
Okay.
The
Yeah.
motion itself was granted,
put it on
but the
record.
motion was to deny.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
I apologize.
Thank you, Sergeant.
no, it's my
Thank
fault.
you.
I'm sorry.
All right, next we have item E, discuss and consider ordinance 25P, an ordinance of the City of Alvin, Texas, amending Chapter 21 subdivisions and property development of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Alvin, Texas for the purpose of amending Article 7, parkland dedication and development fee, providing for severability and setting forth other provisions related thereto.
All right, thank you, Mayor, Council. At this time last year, this was brought up and discussed, and happy to bring back a revised version of this ordinance discussed at the park board level and also with a subcommittee. So you'll notice the objectives for the board that they laid out for themselves were to make the language concise, and then the objective given by council was to balance the sense of unfairness when a developer builds a park and it's less than the acreage that the city would accept. They didn't get any credit for it, so there's a sense of unfairness there. So the board through a lot of different discussions, wanted to put this forward for your consideration. And in the agenda commentary, there's a lot of highlights through there. Namely, not listed there is a component of a parkland dedication, which is when a developer, when they don't want to donate the land, but they want to dedicate some land to a park. The park board felt that helped to balance that sense of unfairness on that side. The city is not necessarily in a position to take on more park land and maintain it as fast as the development is happening. And so the park board felt that particular dedication, that they would receive some benefit as far as not being made to pay a fee for the amount of acreage that they develop, but then pay the fee for the remaining, rooftops, or I forgot what it's called now. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Help me out. Dwelling, thank you. But so they would pay a proportionate fee, but then get not have to pay based on the amount of land that they dedicate or that they donate. So with that, I will ask for your direction, entertain questions.
So I know one of the questions that came up on our workshop was, when they put forth the money to dedicate the improvements to a park or actually dedicate it to a particular area or zone. That's still the case here with our policy is that if they're building a neighborhood within a particular zone or area that's established, that's what money's going to be earmarked for that particular zone, and then the park board still develops a plan to look at how that money's going to be used within a particular time period?
So overall, yes. The only thing is that years ago, we had done away with, council had approved to do away with the different quadrants. And so now all the money that's collected could be used, and even the existing money that had been collected could be used within the city limits, which is a tremendous help. So it makes that money more versatile. But you're correct on the other things.
Right?
But yes, so the park board, again, every year they look at capital improvement recommendations, and y'all are able to see that every year by March 1st.
Got it. And so with these increases, I know that looking at it, it's 700, we're going from 700, going from 1,500, it was at 700 going to 1,500. That's pretty much fair based upon the inflation and increase in cost and that are associated with new equipment that we have to establish. Correct?
Yes, sir. So the park board looked at that, and that's not, we're not recommending that tonight. That's a fee ordinance change. And so I guess what I'm getting at is it's put as a recommendation for y'all to kind of digest and consider. And if that's something that's palatable, then I would bring that, or we would bring that back at another council meeting to change that fee ordinance. So, but this is more of kind of a teaser, if you will. But to your point, council member, yes, the park board felt that with the development continuing to come in, the cost, the inflation, cost of materials, land value, and things like that, the park board wanted to take I'll say a aggressive approach and put a fee forward that would be, I'll say, maybe more in line with those costs.
And I think that's good because we attend the TML conference and we visit with consultants and people and look at what best practices that other jurisdictions are doing, and the cost of playground equipment and their amenities and stuff are astronomical, and I think that's good. I don't think it's something outrageous and stuff. I think it's something that needs to be done. If not, then we're pulling money from other areas that we should be pulling from.
So if you have 10 acres, you'd have to develop 5 acres or pay per door $1,500 towards the parkland?
That's correct. Or again, the fee that y'all deem appropriate. Right now it's $700. That's correct.
This seems like a big minimum park. So even if you wanted to put a park in, you couldn't if you only had 15 acres or something. Yeah.
Depending how they laid it out, yes, sir.
Yeah. And why not, why can't, no area, no floodplain area can be used as parkland, like soccer field or something like that? You can use that as a parkland?
That's correct. The park board didn't want to consider that, and so they put that forward as a recommendation. I guess the idea was they wanted more, I will say, prime land and make the park I'll say a more visible feature of that development, and try to curb the idea that put it in the back or put it in, let's say, less desirable areas or land, and make it more, I'll say, more valuable, I guess.
I think it's, I mean, you don't, I didn't want to talk over you, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're good. And I think that when we look at things and I agree with land that's more valuable as far as putting equipment there and not being damaged by flood inundation or natural disasters or stuff. So you look at those things, but then also I look at the green space and as well as the detention ponds and other areas that could be considered a continuation of a park, but it's green space. And if they provide benches along with a walking trail to basically dress up those areas, I think that's something that you can look at things as a tiered approach, or the park board can actually look at in the future that you could take from that square footage and provide something a little bit less than actually a pocket park or a splash pad. So that would be something as a tier one, hey, we want to see that, but then we also want to see these other tiered amenities as well.
Yes, sir.
Lighting along walking trails?
And then lighting along the walking trails, yeah, so.
I think that speaks to one of the recommendations that the park board be part of the existing plat review and approval process. The board they had a desire to do that, and so they put some language in for they be part of that process.
Very good.
Michelle, would you have any input on that? Could have just yelled it.
Dan and I did discuss the ordinance changes, preliminary changes, and then the final draft was sent. And I told him that really, it is kind of a Parks Board decision, his decision. So my suggestion was that when we do have sizable developments that it looks like it's going to constitute a land dedication that's going to be a city park, then I would invite him to the PDM so he can up front let them know kind of what the requirement's going to be in the timing, and the best way so that it doesn't delay. I don't want to delay development. I don't want to delay plat approvals. Would be have the PDM know what you have to do. Go and have a meeting with Parks Board off to the side. Y'all make a decision on what you want. Put it on paper before you submit us into the plat process. So kind of get the details worked out, similar to kind of what we do with these development agreements and everything else. Kind of get it all squared away in the agreement, and then we're just reviewing to make sure you did everything that you agreed to. So I'm good with it. Just on the fee, just hearing what I'm hearing from developers, when we had the $300 per dwelling fee, they were like, didn't even blink. When we changed it to $700, now they're like, so doubling it again. I think you may see some pushback, but it's as far as park fees, I don't.
Yeah, so I want to thank Dixie and her team. They did a great job, and you may have this information in your packet. I'm not sure. No, I'm just. So Dixie and her team looked at several different cities, and for example, Friendswood, 600 per dwelling. In Angleton, there's kind of a more of a complex or a more calculated approach, where it could be 593, it could be $2,200 per dwelling. League City's $3,000 per dwelling. Manville's 900 per dwelling or higher. Pearland 1,500, single family 1,100 for multifamily per dwelling. So those are some of the things that are out there.
I worry about, because the big developers, this isn't gonna be a problem. They're gonna have parks. So I just worry about how this affects infill development. Because to me, that's why it was originally brought up. So if you're saying you gotta have 5 acre minimum park and a 12 acre thing, they're obviously gonna have to pay the door fee. Will that negate development, and make people not develop those areas? And I know you guys have been working on it for a long time and did a lot of work on it, but I just feel like there's gotta be some, give and take for those smaller infill development, because I think that's the obstacle we're constantly gonna run up against, the little pockets we have, and it may deter development. It just obviously depends on the market and the developers' pockets, but just, that's my concern with approving such a large minimum. If we could make that minimum scale based on the size of the property, that would make way more sense, I think.
And the stab at that was the 1 acre per 100 dwellings, and then if you dedicated that park, then that would save the amount of acreage that you dedicate or donate. It would save that amount of dwelling fees. So it could be proportionate, but I see what you're saying. I mean, it's probably one of those case by case type of things. Or
And
may
I'd
not
have to,
want.
I guess, run those numbers to see what that is, but, there's lots of fees to development. We don't want to deter people. The big developers won't develop small tracts of land. The small developers have to do it, and they're really tight, and everything affects them, and this could be one of those things, so I'd hate to see that happen. I'd just like to see some leeway in that.
So what, I mean, you probably explained this and my brain's off or whatever, but why are we doing it 1 acre per 100 homes? Why don't we just do a percentage of the land they're using?
That's what Park Board saw, the 1/100th of an acre per dwelling, and so they, the feeling was, let's just simplify that and have 1 acre per 100 dwellings.
I mean, on the big stuff, like Kiko's saying, it's not that big of a deal to the big guys, but I think for the little guys, maybe a percentage would be a better offset with it. I mean, if it's a small neighborhood anyways, I mean, if you had an acre park in it, that's a pretty good sized park. Well, I guess you might be splitting it up if you're moving it in different sections too, but I mean, it's,
Or if you could make, even the fees could be relative to the size of the development, because like I said, the big guys are gonna have parks anyway, so this isn't gonna affect them at all.
yeah, maybe make it a fee schedule per acre.
But if you have a lot of land and you're deciding not to do a park, then that's when this should kick in, that's when there should be a substantial way for us to build another park. There should be recourse, but if you don't have much land, you don't have a choice anyway. If you can only develop half of it, then it's not worth buying or developing. And again, I know you guys have been working on this a long time.
Hey,
so I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I know
no,
it's been a lot of work.
that's what the board is for.
Yeah.
So
Thank
yes,
you.
sir. No, and that's, again, we're putting forward ideas. We want to craft something that council's gonna unanimous. We'd like to be unanimous, but if not, we'd like a good majority. So either way,
Okay.
we're happy to do whatever we need to do.
Is that the only part of the ordinance that you have issues with?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only,
Me
that's the only
personally,
part
yeah.
I see anything about.
Okay. You can,
Just quite a bit of a jump. I'd like to see something more along the lines of like 1,000 or 1,200. I think 1,500 is just quite a jump.
Looking at the data that was provided, it still is under if you break down the other jurisdictions. I do understand. I do understand what you're saying, but League City is at 3,000. But when you break down the other the parameters that get them to, if you don't dedicate the square footage of the land, then you pay per dwelling unit. Is there, but then I also see on the data is the half acre per 100 residents and stuff. So that's why I think this, sometimes things it's just really hard to scale things or one size fits all for all developments, because sometimes you have to make those take into consideration that one development is not going to be a cookie cutter like the other development. So that's why we have 380 agreements. That's why we have other developer agreements and different sizes, because you have to do that. And I don't want to sound like it, and I know I'm pretty sure that nobody up here wants to sound like that we're complicating a whole entire process, but and the end result is we want something really good for our residents that are going to become our customers, our residents that are here in the city, and not be a burden and not have complaints, but be here, live here, play here, and stay here and spend money here. That's ultimately what we want. But I agree with all the other council members in their opinions, is that you know, if this goes through, there's still a lot of work. There's still a lot of things that need to happen, that those different things, because I hear it from the complaints from planning commission and residents that, hey, look, we just threw a detention pond over there. That looks horrible. You know, it looks nice. It has a fence, but we would like to walk our dog around it. We'd like to, you know, that type of stuff. So.
All right. Good feedback.
No motion.
I'm good. Mayor, I moved to approve. I have my glasses on. Hold on.
Wait, we're just giving feedback. I think they need to make. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll bring it back.
No. Okay. Thank you, Dan.
Okay, thank you. Absolutely.
Next, we will receive and acknowledge receipt of the proposed City of Alvin annual budget for the fiscal year 25-26, and receive a presentation of a summary of the budget, and set up a public hearing to receive comments on the proposed fiscal year 26 annual budget for the regular city council meeting scheduled for Thursday, August 21st. Mr. Rowland, the floor is yours.
Good job. All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I present to you the proposed budget for fiscal year 2026, and I will provide to you some of the budgetary highlights anticipated in the upcoming fiscal year. Using preliminary property values from the appraisal district, this budget reflects maintaining the same property tax rate of 68.5 cents per $100 of taxable value. The city's 2025 or uncertified appraised values are about 11% higher than the 2024 certified appraised values. Part of the increase in values can be attributed to about $69 million of new property value added to the appraisal roll. However, after appeals by property owners and after the allocation of the Kendall Lake TERS reinvestment zone, we anticipate that the net final value certified by the appraisal district will only be around 7% higher than the previous year's taxable values. And so we expect to receive those certified values within a couple of weeks. This proposed budget includes a drawdown on general fund reserves. As a result, I am proposing foregoing an annual COLA for full-time employees not covered under the CBA. Instead, this budget includes a one-time 3% lump sum payment in December to those employees. For police officers covered under the collective bargaining, we are currently still in negotiations for the renewal of the collective bargaining agreement. Moving forward, in conjunction with the April 3rd City Council Strategic Planning Workshop, I'm proposing to increase staffing in the Engineering Department, Information Technology Department, Facility Maintenance, Street, and Water Sewer Departments. This budget includes approximately $1.6 million for general and utility capital projects. And lastly, to service the city's water, wastewater, and solid waste programs, this budget reflects a 6% increase in water sewer rates and a 2% increase in sanitation rates. Now, this concludes a brief recap of the fiscal year 26 proposed budgetary highlights. We have a short budget workshop scheduled for August 7th and a full budget workshop scheduled for August 12th. And if we need another one, we have that reserved for August 21st. And so in conclusion, I would like to thank all of the department directors, supervisors, and most notably, Chris Thomas and his staff, as well as Dixie Roberts for their contributions. And so with that, I ask City Council to move to acknowledge receipt of the fiscal 26 proposed budget, and we look forward to working with you on drafting or developing the final and official fiscal year 26 budget.
Thank you, sir. Any questions or comments? Then we'll entertain a motion to either receive or deny the
Please don't deny, I think Chris will have a fit.
I'll vote wrong anyways.
Move to receive and acknowledge receipt of the proposed City of Alvin annual budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026, fiscal year 26. Receive presentation of a summary of the budget and set a public hearing to receive comments on the proposed fiscal year 26 annual budget for the regular city council meeting scheduled for Thursday, August 21st, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, very good. Our thanks to you, sir, Christopher, all the department heads. I know this is not an easy process, so we thank y'all. And let's see, what do we have next? Consider if any requests from individual council members, starting with you, Councilman Garvey. Anything for the future?
No, Mayor.
No, Mayor.
No, sir.
No, Mayor.
No, sir.
Very good, thank you. Then we will move on to reports from the city manager.
Yes, as previously stated, we have budget workshop scheduled for August 7th, 12th, and the 21st if need be. Secondly, TxDOT is tentatively scheduled to begin overlaying Gordon Street from 35 to 1462 in August. We are still waiting communications on the commencement date. As soon as we receive detailed project timeline, we'll share that with the public. And lastly, as you know, Alvin is hosting the Veterans Day Parade on Tuesday, November 11th. If you're interested in volunteering, donating, or participating in the parade, please email Jacelyn George at jaclyng@BrazoriaCountyTexas.gov. That's John Apple Cup Lion Yellow Nancy George at BrazoriaCountyTexas.gov. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Okay, items of community interest. Starting with you, councilwoman over here. What do we got? Anything you'd like to share?
Nothing today.
Nothing? Okay.
Nothing, Mayor.
No.
Nothing?
No, Mayor.
No?
No, sir.
No?
So,
No? Okay.
so I do want to report that working with HGAC this week was pretty much a pretty good, very intense meetings that I had with HGAC. HGAC, we're a member of HGAC, and there's a lot of good things that we do as with the region, as well as specifically within the city of Alvin. Our next city council meeting, we're going to have a presentation, and I'm not going to butcher his name, but it's a doctor coming in that HGAC used as a consultant to basically do an analysis, and is going to bring to light a lot of many projects that I've been a part of representing HGAC in the region, and it's going to be very significant to the city of Alvin. So just stay tuned for that. I wanted to let y'all know that pretty much I spent a big majority of this week in downtown Houston working for the city of Alvin, but also directly and indirectly for regional projects that are going to benefit the city of Alvin. So there's a lot of very unique things that are going to be coming within the next couple of years, and just wanted to give you all a little teaser as to our next council meeting when we have that presentation. It's going to come in and talk to us.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your efforts on HGAC for us. Garvey, wake up.
No, sir, nothing.
Okay. All right, next we're gonna go into executive session where we have a couple things to deliberate. First one, section 5510712 of the local government code provides for the following attorney consultation to receive attorney advice in connection with the city's legal rights, duties, privileges, and obligations related to the ongoing negotiations of collective bargaining. And section 5510774 of the local government code, deliberation on the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. So the time being 8:10 p.m., we will adjourn into executive session.